Hello everyone and welcome back to CyberGuardians. I'm your host Marcellus, and just like I promised in a recent episode, I will be doing a demonstration on different file hashing algorithms. I'll be talking about two, and I'll be doing a demonstration on how to check a file for its hashes to make sure it matches.
Hi. So I guess you're wondering, who the heck is this guy? I am a shadow of a very intelligent young man who has volunteered to join the CyberGuardians. His job is to become the avenger of defending the world, protecting the internet. So who is this brilliant young man, this brilliant avenger? Let me show you his light side.
I am Marcellus, and this is CyberGuardians. Now, in the previous episode, I promised to make this, and just to recap, you can use this method to further verify that, let's say if you download a file online, in this particular example, I'm using Kali Linux, and it gives me an option to click on the sum to check to see if the sum matches the same, the hash. Basically, when I check it on the computer, both of those need to match in order to verify that everything is in order, no files are corrupted or no malicious files or anything like that, to make sure to verify the integrity. So let's go ahead, and so it looks like we have an encrypted hash.gpg file on here. So we're going to start by clicking on this text file first. Today, this lesson is going to be about hashing, specifically the differences between MD5 and SHA-256. Why one is considered weaker and the other stronger, a little bit of history behind both of them, and how hashes can be used to verify the integrity of downloaded files. You'll also learn why checking a file's hash matters, how websites publish official checksum values, and how those values can be compared against the hash generated on your own system in Kali Linux. And we use this for an example. You can also do this on Windows as well. There is also an encrypted file included with this lesson, which is what I was basically just talking about. To decrypt it, use gpg-d file name, whatever the file name is, .gpg. When prompted, enter the pass phrase. And the clue right here is weak password. What does the title of the podcast begin with? And that's pretty easy. So we're going to go ahead and let's go ahead and go to the terminal, and we're going to type in, so to decrypt a GPG file, it's going to be GPG. Well, first I need to do pwd, know where I'm at. I'm going to do cd desktop, and we're going to do GPG, and we're going to do -d, and then the name of the file. There we go. And we're going to type in cyber. Ta-da! We have unencrypted the file. And also, if you want to encrypt the file with a pass phrase, you can also use gpg-c and then the file name itself to encrypt it. I'll talk a little bit more about what GPG does in a future episode, but let's go ahead and go to the lesson plan. Today we're going to talk about the file hashes, specifically the difference between blah, blah, blah. So yeah, we talked about that. MD5 stands for Message Digest Algorithm 5. It was created by Ronald Rivest, I believe that's how you pronounce it, and published in 1992. It was designed as an improvement over an earlier algorithm called MD4. And one of the reasons it became so popular was because it was first and efficient for computers of the time. It was widely used for file verification and data integrity checks for many years. One advantage of MD5 is that it is fast and lightweight. It does not take much effort for a system to generate an MD5 hash, and it is still easy to use for very basic checksum comparisons. But MD5 also has a major weakness. Over time, security researchers discovered that MD5 is vulnerable to what is called collisions. That means two different files can be crafted to produce the same MD5 hash. And we also talked about this in the previous episode that it's like being on forensic files. They're trying to investigate who the murder suspect is. And it's like saying, let's say you're an innocent suspect that has nothing to do with the murder or whatever. Your fingerprint matches the same exact fingerprint as another suspect's fingerprint. And that's basically what a collision is for the hashing algorithm. And it's basically when something matches the same exact hash matches two different files, which is not good. And once that becomes possible, MD5 is no longer something you want to rely on for strong security. So while MD5 still appears on some websites and may still be useful for very basic file checking, it is no longer considered the stronger or safer choice when real trust and verification matter. Now let's talk about SHA-256 or SHA-256. SHA-256 is part of the SHA-2 family. The SHA-2 family was designed by the National Security Agency, and SHA-256 was standardized by NIST in 2002 as part of a security hash standard. It was created to provide a stronger hashing option than older algorithms and became one of the most trusted standards for verifying file integrity and protecting data. Compared to MD5, SHA-256 produces a much longer and stronger hash. The added strength makes it far more reliable for modern file verification. The biggest advantage of SHA-256 is that it is much more secure and much more trusted today for checking file integrity. If you download something important and want to verify that it is legitimate and unchanged, SHA-256 is the one for you, or is the one you should pay more attention to. The downside, if you even want to call it that, is that it takes a little more computational or computing power or effort than MD5. But on modern systems, that trade-off is absolutely worth it. So if I were to summarize the difference between those two, MD5 is older, faster, and weaker. SHA-256 is newer, stronger, and better for real verification. If you want an even tighter version of just the history lines, use this. MD5 was created by Ronald Revis, I believe that's how you pronounce the name, I hope I didn't butcher it, in 1992. SHA-256 is part of the SHA-2 family, designed by the NSA and standardized by the NIST in 2002. All right, so that gives you history on what those two algorithms are. To be honest, when it comes to verifying that, most websites are probably, or I wouldn't say most, some or might be more frequently, they're probably going to use SHA-256. And some websites use MD5 still. So we're going to do a demonstration on how that works. So I have already went through Firefox, and like I told you, I think in a previous episode, if you download Kali Linux, they'll give you the sum right here to check to see, to basically compare when you download the download, and to make sure that the integrity is still the same. So we're going to go ahead and download this file. It might take a while, so I'll get back right to you guys just in a second. All right, so we've successfully downloaded the file. So what I did was I also put it in the desktop so that it's easier to find the file. But the command to basically check the file hash is fairly straightforward. So what you want to do, and I like to organize my Windows. Oh wait, hold on. Dang, it's not as smooth as Windows when it comes to doing that. So I clicked on this one, and you want to click on sum, which is checksum, and you want to make sure that the hash matches this number here. So you go to command line in order to check it. You want to basically know where the file location is. I put it in desktop already, and then we're gonna do pwd. I'm gonna do cd desktop, and then I'm gonna do ls here. So that's the name of the Kali Linux ISO that I installed. So what we're going to do is do SHA-256, and you can see right here it uses SHA-256 sum. So this one does use the better one, which is not a surprise, more secure than the MD5. And then all you got to do is type in the file. So we already got the Kali Linux there. And it's taking some time to compute, so it's gonna eventually pop up. But as you can see, the SHA or SHA-256 does take some compute power, and you can see the utilization of the CPU kind of spike up there. So it's gonna take some time, and it's also a reminder for me that next time I need to utilize more cores when it comes to setting up my VMs, because I think I only have like maybe 2 being used, which will make things faster. And as you can see, we've generated the hash right here, and all we got to do is make sure these match. And there are a couple commands you can do to kind of copy and paste to see if these numbers match. But as far as I can tell, I mean, I have a pretty good eagle eye. This is the same. But yeah, you definitely want to make sure of that they're both the same. Or you can just simply do this. You can do copy, and then you can go on the desktop here and just open up, let's see, let's just do it in our little hashing or our little pad here, and then little text file, and then paste that. I'm going to copy it from here and then just paste it in. And as you can see, the numbers, the letters exactly line up. So that's what you can do to verify, to make sure that whatever you download from the internet, the file hasn't changed at all, or anything like that. And like I said, if the file has changed, it either means that it could be infected, there could have been some infection or an infection that happened while you downloaded the file, or it could simply also be that it could be corrupted. Let's say you have a spotty internet connection and it gets corrupted. I mean, most of the time in Firefox or in some browsers, if it does get to that point, it'll say download failed. But if it doesn't, that can sometimes happen, and you could end up getting a different file hash. But that is going to conclude this lesson. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know if you want more of these walkthroughs. I really enjoy doing the walkthroughs rather than just talking and not doing much of anything. It's very interactive. You get to see what I do. You get to learn more about Kali Linux as you go. If you're new to this podcast, be sure to follow and subscribe to my podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and Pandora. I also have on YouTube, which is called CyberGuardians Unlimited. Be sure to check that channel out. I will also post this walkthrough there as well if you want to see it a little bit in a better way. Anything that's visual, Spotify also supports that, but for the best visualization or the best video experience, go on YouTube. And as always, stay safe and stay secure.